Next up, we got second single off Midas's upcoming album, Unity. For any of us that decoded the poster, the billboard that he posted, we know what day the album's coming out. Coming out decently soon. Not gonna spoil it. If you want to decode the billboard yourself, it was posted on Reddit. But yeah, we've got Wish You Were Here, Midas, Beauty School Dropout. I'm pretty sure it's like a pop punk vocalist. So like, I'm gonna be honest, my expectations are rather low as a not rocktronic fan. But we got to head into it with an open mind. I also wasn't big on Phantom Love really that much either. Didn't really love the vocal on it. And then the drop melody to me felt a little unengaging. So Phantom Love was not necessarily, for me, the strongest start off the album. But it's Midas. Midas is pretty consistent with his stuff. He's always generally pretty consistently good. So, and I've heard some great things about it. I know a couple people in the chat are saying that I won't like it or they didn't like it. I've heard a lot of good things about it. A lot of people talking about it. I don't know what to expect, but as mentioned before, with the pop punk vocal, my expectations aren't too high. So let's head into it with an open mind. Let's see. Hopefully I can be convinced. Otherwise, let's see. Okay, did not expect that start.
I got my heart and it's missing the keys. Got your name on it, it's got your name on it. Shadows on walls like you're talking to me. It's got your name
Not big on the vocal.
It's got your name on it. I saw a cloud as it drifts through the breeze. And for a moment that the
Love the sort of stuttery lead in the back there. I will say it feels different for Midas though. Okay. Feels old Midas. Nice fill there. Are we getting a dark drop from Midas? No way. Okay, pretty short drop. Felt like Atlas Last Heroes almost. That's a cool switch up, I won't lie. I wish it did a little bit more with that idea, but cool switch up. Nice to see Midas taking some risks. It feels just very similar to Hurts. Love the production on that. I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest. I think it's very similar to Phantom Love in my eyes. I love the verse production. I thought the verse production was great. I thought it did a good job building the atmosphere towards those drops. Very similarly to Phantom Love, I did not like the vocal like at all. Wasn't big on it. Not in love with the pop, punk, rock stuff. I will say, melodic drop wise, they were cool. Not necessarily my favorite idea in the world, but I think it did a good job staying relatively engaging, having some fills to keep that interesting. Also had a dark drop for Midas. That's different. I wish that there was a little bit, because it kind of just kept like the same note, same melody throughout the drop. I wish it had explored a little bit more melody throughout that second drop, but Midas adding that is super cool. Very different for him. But yeah, I don't know. Not necessarily my favorite from him. I will say I think it's a lot stronger than Phantom Love by probably a considerable margin, but like still not my favorite per se. I think I'd like barely add it. Mostly because of the verse production. I think the verse production, like as mentioned before, sells that tune quite heavily. I'd give that probably just a flat 7. I will say the melody was the melody was decently engaging, but yeah. Just kind of wish ideas-wise did a little bit more in that melodic drop. So I think Matt's going to say exactly what I'm thinking. Love Midas, but these first 2 singles off the album really don't compare to his previous material, especially consider that Try and Homesick were the premier singles off Lost. Yeah. I would agree. I think that this album still has potential to be great. Seems like an album, what was an album? Midnight Kids album was that, where the singles weren't really that hot and then the album was pretty good. It's still a possibility for sure. But yeah, definitely don't think these have been the strongest singles for sure. Like, I didn't even add Phantom Love to my playlist, which is kind of crazy for a Midas song. This one barely made the playlist. I will say though, as mentioned before, really cool to see him explore some different sounds with this one though. So it's at least got that going for it for him. Guess we'll have to wait for the next single that comes out, and then also when the album release comes out. So yeah, it's gonna get a good from chat. I think it's right on that borderline of mid and good. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting. Yeah, not too much to say. I would agree with Greg. I think it's a lot stronger than Phantom Love, like I said, by a considerable margin. Phantom Love was just not it for me, like, at all. So yeah, but again, like I said, both have. If Midas knows how to do one thing well, it's how to craft really engaging verses. So I think with maybe some different vocals, potentially could have had a lot stronger at least in my opinion, 2 a lot stronger tracks, but it's just my opinion at the end of the day. So yeah,